Welcome to Addressing the Corridor, the podcast with your monthly dose of real estate insight, tailored to life here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, and the surrounding communities, one address at a time. I am Lisa Kutzkuli, your host and licensed realtor. On today's episode, I have the pleasure of sitting down with Karra Garcia. She's a licensed realtor here in Cedar Rapids at Pinnacle Realty. We had a great time discussing challenges in the market, reflecting on benefits of living here in Eastern Iowa, and we even shared some personal stories. With that, here's my conversation with Karra Garcia, licensed realtor. Karra, how long have you been a realtor?
I was licensed in February of 2022.
Yeah. What made you want to be a realtor?
I always wanted to be a realtor, but I was working for the school district, and when COVID hit, I decided it was just time to follow my dreams, or I was never going to make that happen.
Is it everything you wanted it to be?
It's way different than I ever thought. I didn't realize I was going into a sales position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you say sales position, because I always say we're not really selling the house. You can't really sell. You know what I mean? You can't really force people to love a house. It's really got to be organic. So when you say that, what do you mean?
I feel like we're selling memories in a way.
Yeah. Memories and futures.
Yeah, futures. Yeah.
I remember I had a couple and I said, are you planning on it? And they're getting married. And I said, are you guys planning on kids? And she goes, thank you for wording it that way instead of when are you having kids? Because they were getting married and they were already getting under so much pressure to have kids. And, you know, she's like, I really appreciate that you just don't assume. So, you know, and that's one thing I learned is everybody's living differently, you know, and we don't, you know, a lot of my friends are like, oh, do you point things out in the house and stuff? Do you?
Sometimes. It depends person to person, I guess. Some people don't really want to be bothered, especially if they're not first-time home buyers. If they're first-time home buyers, then yes, I try to educate them as much as possible. Yeah. I usually ask people who's living in the house or how many people are living in the house now or how many people will be living in the house 5 or 10 years from now.
Yeah.
I'm actually scared to say the word kids.
Right.
Because of fair housing laws.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't know. You just don't know where people are going with that. What's been your toughest thing in the business?
I think I've always been somewhat of a slave to my schedule, and it's been very hard to have a varying schedule or to work on someone else's schedule. It's just very hard to plan something or to spend time. I have to schedule time with my own family. Yeah. On a calendar.
Yeah. And I think that's important to do that. It's really hard. I had company this weekend from out of state, and, you know, I got a text from my client, ready to write the offer. We were just sitting down to eat. Yeah. You know, and it is hard to be like, okay, most of my family understand, but it's hard for us to feel like we have to be both places. And, you know, when I go to sit and do that, I need to be laser focused on the contract and, you know, do kind of that stuff. So,
well, you never know what's going to happen next month or the month after or 6 months from now. So if you miss any income now, I mean, it could affect you down the line. My mom had heart surgery recently, right. And I've missed kids' concerts. I've missed summer vacations. I've been on vacation, but on the laptop the entire time. I've been driving and checking emails, you know, things like that. So when you decide to set boundaries and you say no, then every time you do that is the time that you lose.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the guilt.
Yeah.
The guilt. Both ways.
Yeah.
Guilt with family, guilt with, and you've got kids still in school. So I'm an empty nester now. And I actually did that at that point in my life because I knew we have to be flexible. And I really, like, with your age, you're picking up from school, it's tough. But I like the fact you schedule that in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's hard. Especially you and I both kind of came on the same time when a lot of houses had multiple offers and they were gone within hours of being listed.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, oh, that's wonderful. And it's really not. It's really challenging. How did you navigate through that?
Well, I'll tell you now, some of those people are coming back and blaming me, not blaming me, but saying like, oh, well, now this house is too small and I don't like it. And they kind of channel that as your fault. But you remember being rock solid, telling them, hey, this is out of your criteria,
right.
Or maybe we shouldn't look at this because you said you wanted 2 bathrooms. And they were so focused on winning.
Yes.
I think they forgot about we were grounded in what they wanted or what they needed, but they became so focused on having to win. And I don't know where in their brain says that what they chose was our fault.
Right.
But
I think it's human nature because you get kind of, you're going one way and then we all make that decision to do just a split second something else. And then you're like, what did I do? Yeah. So so how are you handling that? It's just kind of reminding them, hey, this is, and I had clients that lost like 3 houses in a row.
Oh yeah. And more than that.
That was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And then you kind of just want to see them win as well.
Yeah.
Something else I think that the public doesn't understand is we don't get paid till that house closes. So we're not getting paid for every house you're losing. We're not getting paid for every house we're showing.
Right.
It's, yes, this is the industry we chose to work in. That's fine. But I think a lot of people don't really understand how that's structured.
Right.
And so it's heartbreaking for us too. And I think the really good realtors out there are like, clients first. Mm-hmm. And I always tell my clients rejection is protection. Mm-hmm. You lost that house for a reason. It stings, but you don't know what's happening. Do you think the market's going to go back to that?
Possibly.
No.
I try to watch the real estate forecasters.
Yeah.
And they're never wrong.
Yeah.
I always think there's no way that's going to actually happen. That happens every time.
So what are they saying now?
So I missed the last one, but the one before that, they predicted that it would go into another multiple offer type situation, and it did, but it didn't last too long, and it wasn't so severe.
On my listing, we just got 2 offers. And then another, listing, it had been on, I don't know, 30 days. And sure enough, here comes 2 offers when we want to offer. And so it's very unpredictable right now, I feel.
Well, I try to assure people that things aren't the way they used to be. People don't live in their homes for 40, 50, 60 years
right.
or pass them down from generation to generation. It's okay to get a house that works for you now. Let the equity start,
yep.
Going, and then you can move later on.
Average house or average stay in a house, I think, is 5 years. Mm-hmm. If I remember that right from real estate school. I am watching too, like a lot of people saying where the inventory is going up. And I was talking to another realtor yesterday where in Cedar Rapids, typical inventory is around 2,500 houses. We're still only about 1,100. Mm-hmm. So Iowa, or at least our area, we're still way down. But I know like on the East and West Coast, I've been hearing that their inventory is even more than it was like 2008, 2007. Mm-hmm. So I think we're pretty lucky here, actually, because it's pretty even for us, and I think that's people don't realize that too. So that's a good thing.
Have you ever been to the restaurant with somebody and they don't leave the waitress a tip?
No.
And they say they chose that job? That's how I feel sometimes. They say if they want to work for $5.15, that's their problem. I'm not leaving them a tip.
You've been at a restaurant with
Yeah.
Tell me you didn't go on a second date, honey. No, I probably would be like, that ain't how that works.
But yeah, we put in a lot of work and we don't get paid for that. But like you said, customer or client first.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have to do what they want. And, I've talked to other realtors where like the system is just kind of set up kind of weird. And I think and I'll confess, even going through real estate school, I still didn't realize the pay structure going through class. They don't really explain it to you. And then last year with the whole lawsuit thing and and how the news was spinning it, like we make too much money, and it still isn't really understood.
Yeah.
That we are our own business. We do hang our license with a brokerage, which we have to pay the brokerage to do that. So even though we're getting XYZ from a house closing, that's broken down to the brokerage, your taxes, and then yourself. So when I explain it to my clients, they're just like, really? Because I think the general public thinks...
You just walk away with a check.
Yes, and you get to keep all of it.
Cash it, yeah.
Which, that should be explained in school.
Yeah.
Because it's, that first check, and when you see all that coming out, and you're just like, oh. And because you're your own business, too, you've got to hold back your own taxes, make estimates quarterly, and then, if you have a great year, you get to pay even more that following year for more taxes. So I think a lot of people don't realize that. But, like you said, we do it because we love it. Okay, what's been like, go ahead, you were going to say something.
There was the one Facebook post going around saying, do you remember the post where it said like, here's all the things that we have to pay,
yes,
you think real estate is easy.
Yes.
Think about this or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they listed out like 5 pages of things that come out of our check before we actually get anything.
Yes. Yeah. I do remember that. And I thought that was really good. And I did read some comments and people said, just like you're the waitress, you guys choose this work. And, it can be really good. You have to be a good saver. Because like you said, you could have 5 closings, 6 closings in 1 month. The next 2 months, maybe it's not closing, or your closing gets moved back a month or a few days. So you really have to learn to budget and, get your ducks in a row and make sure. So it can be very scary.
There's a lot of factors like elections.
Yes. Election year is always tough. Even with my other businesses, because I had a photography studio and the women's clothing store. Every election year affected that business. So I it's even worse the past 3 elections. I've never seen such craziness, and a lot of that is the internet.
Right.
And it does affect, just like this settlement and the publicity that we're getting. And I think I have seen more realtors kind of speak up about it and just kind of try to educate the public about it. And we can do that as boots on the ground with our clients as well. So I think that does help. Have you ever walked into a house and had like a vibe?
Absolutely.
Like, I don't want to walk into this house.
Yes. Particularly, I remember this one house downtown Cedar Rapids. And this was when I was still commuting here every day from Cedar Falls.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know where I was at.
Okay.
But now I know where I was at. And when we got in the house, I had just this feeling that was not good. But the clients were excited, so I just, try to continue. I locked the door behind me because there was a lot of people walking around up and down the streets that looked kind of sketchy, and I just felt a little uncomfortable being there. So I locked the door behind us. But when we got upstairs, there was writings in the closets saying a lot of things like I don't know if they were like song lyrics or poems, but they were very sad and like scary.
Kind of almost
like
the person was having some mental issues
Yes.
and was like taking
children.
Oh, that is alarming.
Yeah.
What'd you say? What do you do? You've got clients there.
Yeah. Well, I just said obviously it could be painted over, but it drove them away also.
Yeah.
They just got the creepy heebie-jeebie feeling after that too.
I think I would.
It was sad.
It is. It is sad. Yeah. And you almost want to do like a little prayer over the house or something. You know what I mean? Like obviously somebody was really hurting in the house.
Yeah. Yep.
I was in an old house as well, and just I was with the inspector, and my client lived out of town, but we had to video everything, FaceTime, everything. And I just said to the inspector, please don't leave me here alone. Because I don't know what it was, but it was just, and he stayed with me. And we got, I'm driving down the highway, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I left my portfolio on the
No. Oh my gosh.
I didn't go back. I called the listing agent. I'm like, I left my folder on the, and I'll come back tomorrow and get it.
Was that the house in Vinton?
Yes.
Was it?
Yes.
I almost sold that a few days
I know
before
you did.
And that house creeped me out too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Majorly.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful home.
It was.
I think it was raining off and on. No, was it winter?
Yes.
It was
dead of
winter.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think it was cloudy in some of the days. And when the blinds were shut, it was very dark in there.
Yeah. And they had left the history of the house on a bulletin board.
Yes.
And one of the owners had died in the house. So, of
Yes.
course, I read that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So I ended up, because I was so, I wouldn't say desperate, but I was so desperate to sell the house. Do you remember my lady flew?
Yes, that's right. She flew
From
from
New York?
Yes.
So I thought it was a scam.
Yes.
And I had brought a family member with me because I was like, did somebody really fly here from New York just to look at this house? I just felt like it was kind of weird, to randomly be calling me and flying. Yeah. So I ended up pulling up to the hotel near the airport that they got.
Picked her up, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
And she was legit.
Yeah.
And she was very nice, but I just felt like I had to do everything I could to get the house sold because, she spent a lot of money and time.
Oh, right. Yeah, truly.
So I took all the blinds down, all the
did?
curtains down while I was in that house. And so because she
there
was
was
like
5 bedrooms in that thing.
I know. Well, she was saying like, it's too dark, but if lighter,
so you're
I'll
like,
buy it. I'm like, let me take these down really quick. So I
Yeah.
took them all down, and I thought we could paint this yellow, white.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But she ended up writing the offer, and I had to put all the blinds back up. And let me tell you, I don't know what was in those blinds, but my arms broke out in a rash, and I was itching for a week. There's like dust mites or something. It was terrible.
And no sale.
And no sale. At least she didn't fart like the other ones.
Karra, Karra had a couple that needed a little bit of roll-aid action, I think.
They needed a cork.
Both of them, right?
Both of them.
Yeah.
Every room, every house.
I don't understand that. I really don't. That one I can't get my brain around. I just can't. Have you ever shown the wrong house?
What do you mean wrong?
Like I showed the wrong house.
Oh, yes. The very first house I ever took someone on a tour of, ever. Very first showing, it was pending and closing the next day. And the owner,
didn't tell, the listing agent didn't call you and tell you when you booked the appointment?
I didn't book the appointment at that house. I booked the appointment at the right house, which was the house next door that didn't have a sign in the yard.
I did something similar.
Yeah.
Like we walked into this house and I'm like, the houses were the same color. They weren't on the same street even.
Oh.
And I always take a picture of showing time with the address and say, okay, I'll see you at such and such time.
Yeah.
And he didn't say a word. And we're going through this house and I'm like, gosh, this really kind of went to heck after the pictures.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I don't remember there being a bathroom in the basement. And I thought maybe they didn't take a picture of it.
Yeah. And he kept saying, there should be a garage back here. And it still wasn't registering.
Yeah.
And then we talked a little bit about it and he just kept saying, boy, that just wasn't what I thought it was. And then we realized through talking and he goes, no, oh, wait, I think we're at the wrong house. That other house is on XYZ. And I'm like, huh? And so, unfortunately, I had other showings right afterwards. And I said, let's get you in tomorrow, and it was one of those where they were going quick. And he texted me the next day. He says, I had forgotten. I was already working with a different realtor.
Oh, no.
I didn't blame him. I made the mistake. I'm like, I don't blame you one bit.
Yeah.
I messed that up. So it was embarrassing, but dangerous. I mean, what were the odds that there was a lockbox and, that it was unoccupied at the time? Because there was people there, living there.
Yeah.
So
in my situation, too.
Yeah.
They seen it on the Ring camera, and they called their agent, said, why is somebody in our house?
Oh, my.
Yeah.
And did the agent call you then and say?
Yeah, he was the broker. He was the owner of his brokerage, and he royally cussed me out.
Oh, I bet he did. Yeah. I mean, honest mistake.
I didn't even know what was going on.
I bet you did.
I was like, what? I had to call my mentor, like, something happened.
I mean, all you can do is laugh and apologize, right?
Yeah.
It's an honest mistake, but I always double check now. Like I learned so much from that.
Yeah, I never made that mistake again.
No. But, part of it is admitting when we mess up too. And, and I did. I called the agent too and I said, I just went through your house. I want you to know that. I apologize, but yeah. So we're going to make mistakes sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Do you do real estate full or part-time?
Just 20 hours a day.
I
count as full-time.
The reason I ask you that is I don't know how you do it with another job.
Oh, I have no idea.
I really don't, because people need to get a hold of you on the phone all the time, and you need to be available for showings all the time.
I can see a benefit in a team in that way.
Yeah. But we're pretty good to help each other out.
Yeah.
If we need to. Like yesterday, I went to a closing for another agent, and, not a problem, because it's good to... that you have that relationship with other agents that are, you're willing to be there for each other. And you have to really trust that agent because they can really mess things up for you.
Yeah. You're putting your paycheck in their hand.
Yeah.
And not only one, but that could lead to another and another and another.
Right.
From referrals from that person.
Absolutely.
If you do a good job.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. That is exactly right. You recently just moved here. Mm-hmm. And tell me about your experience being on the other side of this.
I've loved living here. It was the best decision I could have ever made.
And you moved from Cedar Falls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you like about this community?
Well, I'll start with the things that I don't like.
Okay.
Actually, there's not a lot to do here outside unless I'm missing things and don't know about things. One thing I miss about the Cedar Falls, Waterloo area is they have the KOA with the beach.
Yeah.
Love that. They kind of tint the water blue, tricks your mind to make you think you're in paradise or
you're
something.
On the ocean.
I don't know. Yeah. And they have the cabins and stuff. It's just very nice there.
Okay.
Nicely done. Big bicycles you can ride that float on top of the water. You can rent
fun.
canoes and everything. The thing about it is I heard you can rent canoes here, whatever, but over there the water is only like waist deep.
That's nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can take the kids out. You don't have to worry. Of course, everyone wears life jackets, but
Yeah.
I miss that. And then we have the water park there.
Okay.
We have the amusement park there. And
That is true.
The mini golf place has a giant like balloon jumping pad. It's half underground.
Okay.
It's kind of like a trampoline, but not. And so there's sand around it. And the kids can jump, do flips, and if they slide down, they kind of go into the sand.
Okay.
They have the batting cages and several, what is it called? Not paintball, but...
Pickleball?
No. Laser tag.
Oh, laser tag. We have that here.
Inside.
Yeah.
This is like outside, though.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
So, I mean, those are the things I wish we had here.
Yeah.
But here we have the skating rink, which they shut down in the Cedar Valley.
Okay.
And then, well, the main thing that I like here is that I feel comfortable going to the community gatherings, which I didn't always feel comfortable doing in the Cedar Valley.
Okay.
Because due to the
Safety
violence.
and stuff,
Yeah, safety.
Yeah. I feel very safe here.
Yes, I do too.
We do have, and I think we're getting more activities and stuff. I know when I had the store, a lot, they were really working on bringing things for more family oriented things to do here.
There's always something to do here.
Yeah.
There's so much to do. It's almost overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where to go because there's so many things to choose from.
Yeah.
But I just not finding the outdoor activities here.
Yeah. Well, Marion just built kind of that park in Marion. I mean, I think our park systems are great. Swimming pools.
There's so many parks here. Nice parks.
Yeah.
Clean parks.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a lot of like festivals and stuff too. The farmers markets are awesome.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They have those in the Cedar Valley, but you
Yeah.
never really want to go to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
If you don't feel safe, that's not takes the fun out of things.
Mm-hmm. So are they building that ice skating rink in Marion?
Yeah, it's there. It's
Fully?
built.
Oh.
Yeah. It's really cool. And I think I swear.
Is that downtown?
Yes.
Okay.
It's where the train depot was. The train.
Right downtown?
Yes.
Okay, I just didn't know it was finished. I
Yeah,
thought
it
I knew
is.
that they were building it.
Yeah. And I drove by the other day and it looked like there's a splash pad there too. But I wanted to go and investigate that more because I don't want to say if there's not, but I could have swore I saw like water.
And then they did decide on the casino?
As far as I know, yes. And they are, I think, breaking ground.
And what about this amusement park?
In Marion?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that has been okayed. I know because I live very close to the swimming pool, and I know that they were like getting the neighbors together to talk about it. Mm-hmm. I had to miss the meeting, so I'm not sure if it would be a great asset. Mm-hmm. It really would. But I think there's batting cages and stuff here too for the kids. And Pickle Palace, bowling is always a good time. But again, it's inside. Did you look that up?
Yeah, just to jump in. So the casino, there was a lawsuit, but that got rejected officially, and that was last week.
Okay.
So the last official word, and this is coming from KCRG, they said during the Iowa Racing and Gaming Commission's meeting in Dubuque Thursday morning, developers for the Cedar Crossing Casino say construction is on track for the casino to open by New Year's Eve 2026.
Wow.
So a little bit of time yet, but not too long.
It'll be here before we know it. Think about it.
That's fast.
This year's half over.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good.
Well, I'm trying to get my son to move here. He's the last. He's 23.
Yes.
And the first thing he asked me was, is there a water park?
Interesting.
And I said, no, but I think they're possibly building one.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a good thing for him to ask. It was better than asking
How many
about
bars?
a bar or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my son's 23. He just went to Theo Vaughn the other night here in town. He had a blast.
What is that?
He's a podcaster and a comedian.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yep. And so I do think that they're trying to bring, more entertainment for the kids and stuff. And, my son lives in Iowa City. There's a lot. And that's only 20, 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff for that age group to do too.
Well, a lot of people, I've talked to a lot of people in business here, obviously.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a common trend that a lot of people started their businesses somewhere else and ended up coming here before thriving. Just like me.
Okay.
I mean, even down to the guy I bought mattresses from. He said he started in Iowa City and he failed. He moved to Dubuque. He failed. He moved to Des Moines. He failed. And when he came here, he blew up.
Interesting.
And I've heard that same story from everyone, and I can relate.
Yeah.
Because there's just no business where I was at.
Yeah.
And I would start commuting here every day, and after a few years, it was like, this doesn't make sense. Let's go.
Very hard on you to commute an hour every day. I mean, because if you had a showing at 9 a.m. and then at 5 p.m,
yeah,
you can't just zip home and get stuff done. You've got to be down here.
Yeah.
And then or a showing at 8 p.m, and then you've got to commute home an hour.
Yeah.
That had to be really hard. So this is probably like a whole new life for you.
Yes.
And the girls and just getting well, good. We're glad you're here.
I would love for somebody to just open up a drive up movie theater again.
Oh, there
We're
is
missing
one.
that. Where?
61. Is it
Here?
No,
it's a little far away.
It's about an hour away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you go to both, they do double features. We've taken the kids a couple times, but that last time you get out about 1 a.m. and you're driving home, and it is.
Yeah.
It's called something 61.
Voice 61's in Del Mar.
Yeah, Del Mar, Iowa. But it's fun. I remember being there. I forget what movies we were watching, but previews came on for a super scary. I don't do scary movies. And you're really sitting in the middle of these cornfields.
Nowhere. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, heck no. But that would be fun, wouldn't it? Yeah. I miss as a kid, I always went. Mom and Dad always to Waterloo. There was a movie theater, drive-in, and that was always a big deal.
Do they do the movies at an amphitheater or something like that here? Downtown Marion, possibly?
Yeah, Cedar Rapids Bank and Trust does some movies. Yep. I believe so.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's taken place because of the projector screens,
true.
or people are doing them in their backyards. Whatever,
yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
It's probably pretty expensive, too. I don't know. I love Collins Road Theater here. Mm-hmm. He's a local guy, and it's always very clean and real butter.
I haven't been there.
You haven't?
No.
You got to go. You got to take the girls because it's a little theater. It's not any, and I go to the other one too.
I've drove by.
Yeah.
I see they're doing free movies this summer for kids on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's always a good time. I like that place anyway. And they have recliner seats, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so there is, have you been to the Pickle Palace yet?
I did go there, but I think the upstairs was closed down.
Okay.
It was kind of late.
Okay.
I took my family.
Yeah. That's kind of a cool addition to Cedar Rapids, too. And did you see the letters that spell out Cedar Rapids?
No.
You haven't. They're really cool.
Where?
It's on Mays Island, and so my brother works for a sign company. They built them. They're all custom built, and it's the letters Cedar and then Rapids. So Cedar's on top, Rapids is on the bottom in big red letters.
I think I saw a Facebook video
I bet
of
you
them
did.
craning it.
Yes,
possibly.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool addition to Cedar Rapids. You know, we're getting good. And then I think, too, you know, we're getting in some major business here. And I think that'll just help grow. I mean, the drive between Cedar Rapids and Iowa City now, it feels like it's so closing in, and it's going to be one big metro area or corridor area. So I see really good things here, and, you know.
I've noticed a lot of people in real estate have been more open to moving to that corridor area.
Yeah.
In the last few years.
Yeah. You mean physically moving or
Yes.
just moving, kind of expanding their territories as far as?
No, physically moving
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to live in Iowa City. I love it there. Cedar Rapids is where I moved my store, so that's why we're here. But I think both communities have good, positive things for people, for families. You know, Iowa is a great place to raise your family. I've helped, and I know you have too, a lot of out-of-state clients come here for that reason. Young couples, like out of Phoenix, you know, starter homes there are $500,000. Starter homes here are $200,000.
I've had a lot of retirees talk about the tax benefits.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't ask me what they are. But
I was going to say, yeah, I need to know.
Yeah.
But that's good. And I think, you know, for again, safety reasons, some of these cities are getting kind of crazy and they want to come here. And I used to travel a lot when I was younger, and I'd get on a plane and I'd talk to the person next to me, and they would always be like, "Where are you from?" And I'd say, "Iowa." "Where's that?" And I'd say, "Kind of in the middle of the United States." And they're like, "Do you guys have flushing toilets there?"
Yeah.
And it just always cracked me up. It's like, what do you think we're about, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I also enjoy traveling to other states and stuff, but it's always really good to come home here. You know, it just, there's something about it. And I think that's the fulfilling part of doing what we do, is that we help people find that place to land, you know, kind of, and it's a good feeling, I guess. All right, let's talk pre-approval.
Pre-approval.
I think a lot of people think that they need to start looking first before they start the finance conversation. And I think that's, you know, the people that once you explain it, like you said, what if you get more? What if you get less? You just looked at a $500,000 house. You are only approved for $300,000 or whatever.
Or any free grant money.
Yes. Yeah. I always look, and I know you do too, like our lenders, our inspectors, we're all one team.
Yeah.
And we all work together and for the benefit of the client. And I just think, you know, start educating the people on why to get pre-approved is important. And pre-qual and pre-approval are different. So I just had a couple that were pre-qual. And
They got to go back.
Yeah, and the lender did it off what he said he made. What he said, you know, a verbal, this is what I made. Yes. And
I think that's law that they have to do that.
that they have to give him a pre-qual because of that. Okay.
Yeah.
But as an agent, you need to educate your client then and say, let's ask that lender to verify employment and get you a pre-approval.
Yeah.
Especially when you're out and you're competing with other offers.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to look at the house and we have to go in within an hour and they've already got another offer on the table. You don't have time to scramble around. You have to have that pre-approval ready to go because it's got to be submitted with the offer. So I think a lot of people don't realize that too. Like when you're buyer ready, you can go in and compete. I'm amazed that, and a lot of people don't think this too, like there is different types of lenders as well. Some that are available weekends and evenings and some just are not. And, I think that's an important conversation to have too. Like, this is why we need to do this. I mean, we do have lives outside of our careers, but you try to be, I try not to bug too many people on off times if I can avoid that. So just be ready. But I think that's a good thing to stress is the pre-approval process and then understanding what they're looking for in a home. Yeah. And some people don't really realize that either until, we'll know it when we see it. And I do agree with that a little bit. Sometimes if we're going and we're showing like 10, 15 homes and, it's like, okay, let's go back to that list that you first brought to me. And this is what was important to you. Let's stay focused on that.
The more homes you look at, the more confused the buyer gets.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. And a lot of the times when you go back, the house is no longer on the market.
Yep.
So they've lost out on it,
And then they're chasing that.
Yes.
And they can't find it again.
Yeah, exactly.
A comparison.
How many homes did you look at before you decided to put an offer in your house?
My house?
Yeah.
Not that many.
Okay.
There was nothing on the market to look at.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
Okay. Yeah. I also think open houses are
4.
A good chance to look
4.
too.
Yeah.
Good
open houses are good. People need to go back to those.
Yeah.
I think some realtors are insecure about their buyer looking at open houses because they think that someone else might take their client.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm like...
With the buyer's agreement, have you had any pushback on that?
Barely.
Yeah, I haven't had much either.
Yeah.
And I think to the buyer, it's almost a good thing that you are going to be their sole realtor. When you explain that, hey, I'm here for you, I can kind of get to know you and know what you're looking for. And, we talk to realtors all day long. And if a house is coming on the market that I think will be great for you, I can call. And that's happened a few times.
Yeah.
But I think it was a big adjustment last year when it came on. And, it's always the fear of the unknown. But once you explain it, I haven't had any trouble with people signing on with that or anything. And I had one guy and he's like, I'd like out of it because my girlfriend has a friend that's a realtor. I didn't realize it at the time. And I'm like, that's fine. That's cool. Communication to me is the big thing.
Yeah.
And I know you're big on that too. So it's, it's good. Where do you see yourself in 5 years in this business?
5 years, I really think my change will probably come in like 7 or 8 years. And that's when I will have my youngest out of the home.
Okay.
So I guess that's kind of the threshold I'm looking at.
Yeah. Just get me through 7 years.
Yeah.
Do you think AI is going to change our industry?
Yes, but not in the way that some might think.
Okay.
I think there's always going to be a need for a real person. You cannot fabricate a person-to-person bond.
Yeah.
You can get the facts.
Yeah.
But you can't get a real person with a heart that cares.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's hope, right? I'm a little older than you, so the AI stuff is like, oh my God. Like, yesterday I was talking with a realtor out in, she'd been out, she'd taken a class, but the instructor had been out to New York, and they're doing virtual tours. And you can, like, literally, kind of like we do the 3D tour now, you can literally open a drawer now in your virtual tour.
Oh.
I mean, that just blows me away.
I don't like providing those for my listings.
Yes. I mean, it feels, especially if the people still live in the house.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of that is safety, you know?
Well, you can't. Looking at something online is not the same as looking at it in person.
Right.
I want people to come in the door.
Yeah.
So I've actually drawn back and provided less photos on my listings.
Interesting.
Just a little bit to get them interested. You can see a little bit of,
Yeah.
But I want them to walk in the door. I don't want to show them every nook and cranny online, because then they're not going to walk in the house. They think they know everything, and their perception could be wrong.
True. That's a good point. The 3D tours I felt were very handy for out-of-state buyers.
Yeah.
But, I agree with you. You need to and I always was very nervous to do a FaceTime. Anytime you have to do a FaceTime tour, and kind of hold the phone up and walk them through the house, and because I'm like, it feels the feels you get when you walk into the house, and the smells and the everything, and how the floor creaks or does it, or I think that's I'm interested to see. I know a lot of people are using like is it Chat GPT?
I don't do any of that. I don't know how to do that.
I do a little bit. I'm pretty proud of myself, but
our office manager,
yeah,
tried to talk me through it yesterday. It's up on my laptop, and I'm like, I didn't know this was a website. I thought this was like some complicated app or something.
It's not complicated at all. If I can do it, honey,
over my head.
No,
I thought it was.
Yeah,
I thought it was.
It's not. It's not. But it can be helpful in marketing or something. You type in, what are 5 things that are important to sellers or something. You make like a meme out of it or something. But I do think we're in for a big change. I just think it's growing faster than anybody can really keep up with at this point. Like, and that's what Logan and I were talking about before you came in was think about 20 years ago or maybe even more than that. But, if you had 5 houses to show in one day, you'd have to call that agent of each house, go and get a set of keys, and then just driving without GPS. Yeah. So you'd have to map out your journey, take your clients to each of the 5 houses. You didn't have the good pictures now that you do. So that client would have to kind of remember the house or jot down notes on what they liked, what they didn't.
I remember my mom picking up like a little newspaper ad in the Hy-Vees. What were those called?
Just an inserter, like ours was the Live Wire in Vinton. And it would come out every Wednesday with all the houses on the market. And you only had that one picture. And I even think it was a sketch at that point.
Some of them were.
Yeah, if I remember right. But just how much, like the agents that have been in it for years and how much change they've had to keep up with.
Yeah.
And just even, so before you'd go back to the office, you'd decide which house, you'd handwrite the offer, you'd have to get them to sign it, take it over to the other agent. They would have to present it to their sellers. I mean, we wouldn't have been able to do a 4-hour turnaround, or be under contract in 4 hours. We just wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah.
So I just can't imagine, like, even now showing time, we can just go ahead and schedule, which we still have to wait to hear if from the sellers. But how convenient that is, to do 5 in a row or whatever. Still takes a little brain work because if the houses are vacant or if they're occupied, you want to make sure, and drive time in there and stuff. But I think it's changed so much. And I do remember in real estate class, my instructor saying showing time was game changing just because of that. So, and we didn't have cell phones. They didn't have cell phones, so they had to either be at the office or home to answer your call.
Right.
Which sometimes I wish we didn't have the cell phones.
Yeah, I don't want the technology to continue growing as fast as it is.
I'm right there with you. But there's a lot of people that want it growing faster, I see benefits to some of it, but I've had 2 other businesses, and when technology, I was a film photographer when I bought my studio, and then digital came along, and everybody could be a photographer. And so many businesses popped up out the kitchen door, and and that was like, it was, I drug my heels on that one. Because I saw the writing on the wall with that. I'm like, everybody can be a photographer. They don't need the big 4,000 square foot studios anymore, and it just completely changed the industry.
Yeah.
And then when I had the store, the clothing store, it was just internet. FaceTime was kind of coming on, and then you could start selling on the internet. You could put a virtual store, and that completely changed how you did business in that industry too. I mean, look at our retail now. Everybody goes to Amazon. Everybody, and I am starting to see local businesses come back, but and professional photographers as well. But for a while there, it just really kind of leveled it.
People have to put their foot down. Like I won't order clothes online anymore because I don't know what I'm going to get. I want to touch it. I want to feel, I want to know what kind of quality I'm getting. So I do shop at stores.
Yeah.
Local stores.
Yep.
And I try to shop as many local businesses as possible.
Yes, I do too. And I think I hope I'm seeing a trend come back to that, because I think people realize they're the heartbeat of our community.
Do you remember going to the mall at Christmas time?
Oh, yes.
That was so fun.
Oh, it was.
Now there's no spirit.
No, I agree. That's a good point. I mean, I do see a lot of like communities like doing it outside, like Santa's coming or stuff like that. But the mall was where you went. I worked at Valmar in college a Christmas season, and that was just magical. I mean,
yeah,
it was so much fun. And yeah, I agree. And even with the studio and stuff, Christmas pictures and Christmas cards, and now people snap it with their cell phone and can do it, so I mean, it's a trade-off. And even I think my kids, they're 21, 23, and, everything is kind of online for them. And even that generation, I think they're coming back to what we want. You know what I mean? Like that, like I think they're seeing that online isn't fulfilling as
they were on the border.
Yes, they were.
How old is your daughter?
21.
21.
Yeah.
Okay, so we both have 23.
Yep.
And then you got 21 and I have 20.
Yes.
And my daughter, who's 20, she says, I'm tired of this. Why don't they open the mall back up? Or I want to, they are seeing the benefits of, they're tired of that.
They are. They are.
But the younger ones, I have 2 younger ones, they don't even know what they're missing.
I know.
It's so sad.
It is sad. It is. I am hearing schools trying to take away cell phones, maybe. But I too, it was important for me that my kids were outside all the time.
It's very hard when you're not home.
It
You're
is very
working
hard.
in real estate.
No, it is. I know.
All day. Yeah.
It is. I had the store and the studio when they were growing up. So I had Sundays and Mondays off, and we were outside.
Yeah, I miss working for the school district because I was home all summer, weekends, Christmas. Yeah.
I know.
That is a big change.
Yeah. Well, you're just going to have to make it a priority, girl.
Yeah.
You know?
I can do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, for sure.
You can. Karra, I really do appreciate you taking the time today because I know your time is very valuable.
Thank you.
It is. And you've just brought so much to the conversation, and you're a great realtor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You too.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Addressing the Corridor. New episodes drop the first Monday of each month, so be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you find your podcasts. You can also find updates about the podcasts, as well as local real estate at crrealtor.com, or find me on social media platforms under the name Lisa Coots Schooley. That's Lisa, COOTS Finally, whether you are buying, selling, or just real estate curious, remember, I'm here to help you make confident, informed decisions, one address at a time.